Genius Doctor's secret. Just eat these every day and you will live to 100. Have you ever wondered what centenarians, those rare humans who live past 100, are eating right now? Not what they ate once on vacation, not what's trending on TikTok, but the real everyday foods that fuel long lives, sharp minds, and pain-free bodies. They're not surviving on miracle pills or designer diets. It's not just about what they eat, it's about how they eat, when they eat, and most of all, why. Nobel Prize winner Otto Warburg made a discovery that stunned the world. Our cells die not because of viruses or old age, but because we stop giving them what they need the most, oxygen. Everything we eat and do each day either provides oxygen to our cells or slowly suffocates them. He came up with 8 simple guidelines, and if you follow them, you can give your body the power to help protect against even the worst illnesses. What if I told you that just 8 core guidance, when done daily, could turn back your biological clock, lower your risk of disease, and keep your body energized, not just for decades, but for a full century? In this video, we're diving into the everyday eating habits of the world's longest living people. You'll learn what to eat, what to do, why it works, and how to turn your plate into your greatest investment in longevity. So whether you're in your 30s and thinking long term, or already in your 70s and ready to reclaim your health, this video is for you. Before we jump in, comment "long life" if you're ready to live better longer, or type "tell me more" if you're curious but not convinced just yet. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more science-backed longevity tips every week. Let's begin. Rule number 1, start your day the right way. Each morning, millions of people make the same silent mistake, and they don't even realize it. They roll out of bed, reach for a strong cup of coffee, maybe grab a piece of toast or skip breakfast entirely, but in doing so, they ignore the single most important need their body has upon waking: hydration. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep without water, your cells are parched, your blood is thicker, and your metabolism is sluggish. Yet we often throw caffeine into the mix before even giving our body a chance to recover. Nobel Prize winner Otto Warburg understood this long before it became common wellness advice. He insisted that every day should begin with a glass of warm water, ideally on an empty stomach and enhanced with a few drops of fresh lemon juice. Not for taste, not for a diet trend, but because this combination gently helps the blood become less acidic, awakens the liver, activates the digestive system, and sends a flood of oxygen supporting hydration to every cell. Think of it as the body's wake-up call, not with noise, but with nourishment. You see, our bodies are made of nearly 60% water, and when we don't replenish it first thing in the morning, we pay the price in subtle ways. Fatigue creeps in, mental fog becomes normal, blood becomes thicker and harder to circulate, delivering less oxygen to cells that desperately need it. Organs begin working overtime just to perform basic functions, setting the stage for chronic inflammation, weakness, poor digestion, and eventually disease. It doesn't happen overnight, but it builds quietly and dangerously over the years. One woman in her late 60s shared a powerful experience. She decided to replace her morning coffee ritual with a mug of warm water and lemon. She made no other drastic changes. 3 weeks later, her swelling was down, her digestion improved, and her mind, once foggy in the mornings, felt clearer and sharper. I realized, she said, I wasn't getting old, I was just dehydrated. That's the power of one habit. 1 glass. One new beginning each morning. If you're going to start drinking a glass of warm water first every morning, comment hydration first. Rule number 2, daily salads. This isn't just a casual health tip. It's a non-negotiable rule for cellular longevity. Too many people treat vegetables like a side note, optional, forgettable, even inconvenient. They believe that if they're eating bread, meat or a multivitamin, they're covered. But Warburg strongly disagreed. To him, fresh raw vegetables, especially dark leafy greens, were oxygen carriers. They weren't just food, they were medicine in its most natural form. These vegetables are loaded with alkalizing minerals like calcium and magnesium, plus enzymes and chlorophyll that help your body maintain a healthy pH level. When your internal environment is alkaline, your blood flows more freely, oxygen is better absorbed by cells, and inflammation is kept at bay. But when your body leans towards acidity, usually due to processed foods, sugar, stress, and inactivity, that's when chronic fatigue, joint stiffness, brain fog, and even skin issues start to appear. It's not always aging. Sometimes it's just acidity wearing you down from the inside out. A simple daily salad can change that. Just one bowl filled with leafy greens, colourful vegetables and topped with olive oil and lemon juice can shift your internal chemistry in a healing direction. Olive oil provides anti-inflammatory fats, lemon juice stimulates digestion and balances blood sugar. Together, they don't just make your salad taste good, they make your body more capable of breathing, cleansing and thriving at the cellular level. And perhaps most importantly, it's a ritual that reminds you to treat food not as entertainment, but as fuel for life. One woman in her 50s who suffered from low energy and brittle nails began eating a large salad every afternoon, rain or shine. Within a few weeks, her skin looked brighter, her digestion felt lighter, and her hair even regained some strength and luster. She said, "For the first time in years, I felt like my food was working with me instead of against me." That's what a proper salad does. It restores the inner terrain where life can flourish. If you're going to try eating daily salads, comment daily salads. Rule number 3, rethink snacking. It starts off innocently enough. You're working, you're bored, or hunger sneaks in between meals. And without much thought, your hand reaches for a cookie, a handful of chips, or maybe a piece of candy. Well, you call it a treat, a little something to tide you over. But your body doesn't experience it that way. Otto Warburg saw these tiny indulgences as tiny steps toward biological imbalance, nudging your body further away from oxygenation and closer to chronic acidity. And the problem isn't just the sugar or the salt. It's that most people snack mindlessly without realizing the long-term cost. Snacking on sweet or starchy processed foods alters your blood chemistry in subtle but dangerous ways. It raises your blood sugar and spikes insulin, which increases acidity in the body. And as Warburg emphasized, acidity is the enemy of oxygen delivery. When your blood becomes too acidic, your cells struggle to absorb oxygen properly. Over time, this creates a low oxygen, high stress environment where disease can quietly take root. What may feel like a small sugar fix is in truth another cut in your cellular defences, weakening immunity and accelerating aging from the inside out. But here's the hopeful part. You don't need to eliminate snacking. You just need to choose better tools. Warburg recommended nutrient-dense, alkaline-supporting snacks, like raw almonds, which are rich in magnesium, calcium, and healthy fats that stabilize blood sugar and improve cellular resilience. He also praised spirulina, a blue-green algae packed with iron, chlorophyll, and complete proteins that fortify your immune system and support gut health. These aren't trendy superfoods. They're time-tested buffers against the acidity we accumulate daily. One woman in her mid-40s shared her transformation after replacing afternoon sweets with a small handful of almonds and a glass of lemon water. Within a month, her stomach aches vanished, her cholesterol levels dropped, and her mood, once erratic and tired, began to stabilise. I felt lighter, she said, like a weight had been lifted off my body and mind. And that's the essence of mindful snacking, not deprivation, but elevation, food that lifts you up, not drags you down. Comment snack smart if you're ready to upgrade your snacks and protect yourselves. Or type I'm guilty if you know this is something you struggle with. No shame, just honesty. And we're all on this journey together. Rule number 4, movement removes acidity. One of Otto Warburg's most powerful and overlooked statements was this: if you don't move, your body becomes acidic. To many it sounded like a metaphor, but to Warburg it was a physiological truth. He understood that stillness, especially the kind tied to modern lifestyles, isn't just unnatural, it's dangerous. When we sit for long hours at a desk, in front of a screen, or behind a wheel, blood flow slows, lymphatic circulation stalls, and acids begin to accumulate. Without motion, your cells become starved of oxygen, waste products build up, your metabolism slows to a crawl, and before long symptoms start to show up: fatigue that no nap can fix, stiffness in your joints, unexplained inflammation, and a sense of heaviness in your body. It's not because you're getting old, it's because your body isn't being flushed and nourished through movement. But here's the beauty. You don't need to become a gym rat. Warburg wasn't advocating for high-intensity workouts or 6-day-a-week training plans. He encouraged natural movement, the kind that flows with your day. Take short walks, climb the stairs, stretch before bed. Even 5 minutes of gentle activity increases circulation, promotes detoxification, and delivers more oxygen to your organs and brain. Movement literally turns your body into a self-cleaning machine. One man in his 70s shared a transformation so simple it almost sounds unbelievable. He committed to just 15 minutes of walking each morning, rain or shine. After 2 weeks, the nagging pain in his knees, which he blamed on age, was gone. By the end of the month, he said he woke up with more energy, less stiffness, and felt alive again. That's what movement does. It doesn't just strengthen your muscles, it revives your entire system. Comment Move to Heal if you're ready to add even a little movement to your day. Or type I need this if you've been stuck in stillness and want to break free. This could be the one habit that changes how you feel, starting today. Rule number 5, breathe like your life depends on it. Because it does. Breathing, we do it every minute of our lives. But how often do we do it well? Otto Warburg didn't just study breath as a function of life. He studied it as the first signal of survival or decline. To him, the problem wasn't that people didn't breathe, it was that they breathed so shallowly, their cells were constantly being underfed. He believed that without deep, intentional breathing, our cells begin to suffocate. And where suffocation begins, disease is never far behind. In today's fast-paced, polluted world, shallow breathing has become our default. We're stressed, hunched over screens, living in artificial light and stagnant air, and we barely engage half our lung capacity. This means less oxygen delivered to the brain, heart and other organs, and as Warburg noted, these under-oxygenated cells function at half power or less. That's when you start feeling foggy, tired, anxious and emotionally drained, not because of your age or your workload, but because your internal engine is running on low oxygen. Warburg's prescription wasn't complicated, but it was powerful. Breathe deeply, breathe often, and seek fresh air daily. Take walks in nature, open windows, practice breathing with intention, inhale through the nose, hold, exhale slowly through the mouth. Even 5 minutes a day of conscious, full-body breathing can lower cortisol, regulate blood pressure, and sharpen mental clarity. Your lungs are more than a survival organ. They are the delivery system of your vitality. One man from St. Petersburg decided to try a simple breathing ritual each morning on his balcony. He stood barefoot, inhaled deeply, paused and exhaled slowly for just 10 minutes. Within a week, his blood pressure improved, his chronic headaches disappeared. It was like I switched my brain back on, he said. That's not a miracle. That's the power of oxygen, unlocked through breath. Comment breathe deep if you're ready to reclaim your breath as a tool for healing. Number 6, meat, friend or foe. Meat, for many, is a staple, a symbol of strength, energy and tradition. But Otto Warburg didn't believe meat itself was the enemy. Instead, he warned that it's how we prepare and consume meat that determines whether it becomes fuel or a burden. Fried, smoked, overly fatty or highly processed meats increase blood acidity, stress the liver and promote inflammation, the breeding ground for chronic disease. The problem isn't meat, it's excess and its toxicity from poor preparation. Verbally advise that if you choose to eat meat, do so mindfully. Opt for small portions of lean, clean meat, about 150 grams per day, and always prepare it gently, boiled, steamed or baked, without heavy oils or charred edges. These cooking methods preserve nutrients, minimize harmful compounds, and reduce the acidic load on the body. Just as importantly, he emphasised balance, recommending 1 or more meat-free or fasting days per week to give your body a chance to reset, detox and restore its internal environment. One woman in her late 50s decided to try this approach. She didn't go vegetarian. She simply boiled her meats and introduced 1 plant-based day each week. To her surprise, her persistent stomach bloating eased within days. A month later, her cholesterol had dropped. Her sleep improved, her energy returned. She said, "I didn't realize how heavy meat was making me feel until I gave my body a break from it." It wasn't about restriction. It was about restoring her body's natural rhythm. The key takeaway? Meat can be part of a healthy lifestyle if treated with respect, not indulgence. The cells don't need a feast. They need clean fuel delivered with care. And when paired with alkaline vegetables and proper hydration, meat becomes a partner, not a threat in your health journey. Comment meat mindfully if you're ready to rethink how you prepare and enjoy meat, or type trying plant day if you plan to give your body a break with one vegetarian day this week. Your plate doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be intentional. Rule number 7, the surprising truth about vegetables. We've all been taught to believe that all vegetables are good for us, and in most cases that's true. But Otto Warburg made a critical distinction that most people still overlook today. While vegetables generally nourish the body, some can actually disrupt your internal balance, especially when it comes to maintaining the alkaline environment your cells need to thrive. Warburg found that certain high-starch vegetables, though plant-based, can convert rapidly into sugars and tip the body into a more acidic state, reducing cellular oxygen and increasing inflammation. Take the humble white potato, for instance. It's a comfort food found on dinner tables around the world, baked, mashed, fried or roasted. But it's also high in starch, and once digested, it breaks down into simple sugars that spike blood sugar, disrupt insulin sensitivity, and feed the acidic terrain that weakens cellular defenses. Warburg warned that foods like these may taste harmless, but they quietly interfere with oxygen transport and promote the low-grade inflammation that sets the stage for chronic conditions. Instead, he encouraged people to lean into alkaline-rich vegetables, colourful, nutrient-dense options like Brussels sprouts, zucchini, eggplant, asparagus and bell peppers. These vegetables don't just support detoxification and reduce acidity, they're also packed with fibre, antioxidants and natural compounds that help cells breathe, repair and regenerate. And when lightly steamed or roasted with olive oil and herbs, they become a delicious daily ritual, not a sacrifice, but an upgrade. These choices keep your gut calm, your blood more balanced, and your immune system alert and strong. Some man from Voronezh made a small but consistent change. He removed potatoes from his daily meals and began steaming a mix of green and colourful vegetables each evening. Within a month, he noticed less bloating, better digestion, and more stable energy throughout the day. His skin began to clear, his cravings for sweets dropped, and he felt, in his words, like my body finally got the memo. And it all began with a simple question: is this vegetable helping me oxygenate or acidify? Comment veggie upgrade if you're ready to swap out starchy sides for oxygen-rich veggies, or type goodbye potato if you're ready to challenge the idea that every vegetable is harmless. Sometimes a small change in your shopping cart can mean a big shift in your health. Rule number 8. Water, where it all begins and ends. Water isn't just something we drink, it's what we are. Otto Warburg called it the foundation of cellular health, and modern science continues to confirm that no nutrient, no superfood, no supplement comes close to the life-giving power of water. When you don't drink enough of it, your body doesn't wait politely. It begins pulling water from your organs, your joints, even your brain, slowly compromising function just to keep basic systems running. The result? Fatigue, headaches, sluggish digestion, and an immune system that can't quite keep up. Warburg stressed that cells don't just use water, they depend on it for survival. Water is the vehicle that transports nutrients into your cells and waste products out. It regulates your body temperature, lubricates joints, and, most critically, helps balance the delicate acid-alkali levels that determine whether cells thrive or deteriorate. Without proper hydration, your blood thickens, your pH drops into acidic territory, and oxygen struggles to reach where it's most needed. In that state, inflammation and disease gain ground, not in dramatic ways at first, but silently, day by day. His recommendation was simple but clear. Drink at least 2 litres of warm, ideally alkaline water daily. No sodas, no sugary juices, no fizzy distractions, just clean water, especially in the morning on an empty stomach, to gently awaken your system and flush out toxins built up overnight. Continue sipping throughout the day to stay balanced, but don't overdo it either. It's about rhythm, not volume. Hydration as a ritual, not a reaction to thirst. One man shared how he stopped drinking tea and soda and committed to plain warm water every day. In just 2 weeks, his acid reflux disappeared. His stomach felt lighter. And after a month, he reported waking up with more energy than he'd felt in years. Warburg famously warned, "A glass of sugary soda needs 30 glasses of water to offset its damage. Why fight the aftermath? It's better to avoid it altogether." Indeed, if there's one place to start reclaiming your health, it's here, in the simplicity of water. Comment, water is life, if you're committed to giving your body what it needs most. Or type no more soda if you're ready to break up with sugary drinks for good. This one change might be the simplest and most powerful decision you make for your health. Final revelation: oxygen is life. Otto Warburg's most profound insight didn't come from a lab experiment or a textbook. It came from decades of asking one powerful question: why do healthy cells suddenly begin to fail? And after years of research, his answer was beautifully, almost unsettlingly simple. A truth hidden in plain sight. When cells lack oxygen, disease sets in. When cells have oxygen, disease cannot take hold. This wasn't just another scientific theory. It was a life philosophy wrapped in biology, a blueprint for healing that applies to every organ, every system, and every stage of life. Warburg didn't believe disease was inevitable. He believed it was the result of small daily choices that either nourish your cells or choke them. And that means you have more control than you think. You've just learned 8 powerful habits, not gimmicks, not hacks, but real, grounded practices backed by science and lived experience. Let's recap what it looks like to choose life at the cellular level. Number 1, a glass of warm water in the morning instead of caffeine on an empty stomach. Number 2, a colourful salad instead of another processed meal. Number 3, almonds and spirulina instead of blood sugar spiking snacks. Number 4, a 15-minute walk instead of another hour of sitting still. Number 5, conscious deep breathing instead of shallow anxious gasps. Number 6, a shift toward lean, gently prepared meats instead of fried fatty ones. Number 7, vegetables that oxygenate rather than acidify. And lastly, hydration with clean, mineral-rich water. These aren't dramatic life overhauls. They're tiny hinges that swing open big doors to energy, clarity, longevity, and protection against the illnesses that often seem to strike out of nowhere. Many people believe that health is just luck, good genes, good timing, or good fortune. But Otto Warburg proved otherwise. Health is a choice. one you make every time you breathe, move, eat and drink. It doesn't begin next year or next month. It starts now, right where you are. Comment "Oxygen is life" if these 8 rules have opened your eyes to what's possible. Or type "I'm starting today" if you're ready to put even one of them into action. Not perfectly, but intentionally. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you want more powerful science-backed strategies to rebuild your body from the inside out. You're not too late. Your body is still listening.